For the second straight week, I predicted the Virginia Tech Hokies would win a close game. When it turns out they went on for the second week in a row to win by a blowout. This time a 54-17 romp over the East Carolina Pirates at Lane Stadium. The second consecutive home game for the Hokies, and really just fantastic performance all around, pretty much by every unit. Although, of course, I will get into some of the things that need to be improved upon. But once again, the first player that needs to be mentioned here is quarterback Jerod Evans. Evans just went off, 13 of 20 for 282 yards and 3 touchdown passes. But the play that will be ingrained in the minds of Virginia Tech fans for a very long time will be his 55-yard spectacular, incredible, just bobbing and weaving all the way through the East Carolina defense for a touchdown. First you saw it and it's like, oh, cool, he's got a first down. Oh, hey, he's into the second level. And then you're like, wait, is he really going to take it all the way? He really did go all the way. That's pretty much how I think many Hokie fans were looking at that run. And he was pretty confident about talking about it in the postgame. He said, yeah, I've had a couple like that. That's just the first time y'all have seen it. So it's not like he was surprised to score it. It was just that everyone in the stadium, for the most part, was surprised. So, Evans gave us a scare with that ankle injury he had in the first half. You could tell by that run in the second half that it was nothing really all that serious. So thank heaven for that. And, Isaiah Ford, the Virginia Tech soon-to-be anointed greatest wide receiver of all time, had another great game, and he only needed to do his damage in the first half. 4 catches for over 100 yards, and once again, a beautiful touchdown grab with a very low margin for error. So Isaiah Ford is continuing to just be that main weapon in the passing game who, the Hokies can really rely upon. And, there are very few receivers you can say that are better than Isaiah Ford at this point in time. The Hokies got off to an early lead through special teams play, and special teams is also one of the big stories of today. Greg Stroman was given the special teams captain jersey, number 25, to honor Frank Beamer. And boy, did Stroman have an honorary, outstanding performance. He ran an opening punt return, 87 yards for the touchdown. That was a great combination of both pace and patience. And he also had a great kick block. He blocked a field goal, and that was a very nice play to see. But the Hokies blocking kicks is a way of life. After Cam Phillips blocked a punt when he just went right up the middle, that meant that Virginia Tech now has 136 blocked kicks in the last 361 games. That is just truly an incredible figure that you will not find at any other college football program. There have been stretches of time in the past where people have said Beamer ball's dead, Virginia Tech special teams ain't what it used to be, yada, yada, yada. But special teams has never truly gone away. It has always been Virginia Tech's MO to put its best players on special teams. And you see how the Hokies reap those rewards. Not only did Cam Phillips have a great blocked kick, he also did a great job of chasing down a partially overthrown Jerod Evans deep ball for a 56-yard touchdown grab, I believe. It was just a great catch and run. Phillips needed that to boost his confidence. Very happy about that. So Virginia Tech is really getting it done in the special teams game. And, the Hokies took that 38-0 lead into halftime off that grab. So, in terms of things to improve upon, it was not by any means a perfect performance for the Hokies. Adonis Alexander was given one heck of a wake-up call early on in the second half. The first play from scrimmage, he gets bombed on. East Carolina just has that really long touchdown pass from their quarterback, Philip Nelson, to Jimmy Williams. Williams had 2 long touchdown grabs. But the East Carolina receiver who really impressed me today was Zay Jones. he had 10 grabs for 115 yards. He's a guy who I expect to see playing on Sundays one day. At any rate, Virginia Tech, the secondary did not necessarily live up to the DBU status today. They gave up 362 passing yards. So I think their status as the number one pass defense in college football at this point in time is probably going to not be there anymore come the end of the weekend. However, I'm sure Fuente and the rest of the coaching staff will work on that heavily this week in practice. And, it was not the best game necessarily for Jared Evans in terms of the deep ball. He said after the game that he knows he needs to work on throwing the ball down the field. So it's very refreshing to have a quarterback who, on one hand, knows he's good, but on the other hand, knows that he has a ways to go to be truly great. But still, that touchdown run of his is going to attract the attention of NFL scouts. So, overall, though, of course, another strong showing. That lunch pail defense making it a very, very long day for ECU, especially in the running attack. They only averaged 2.3 yards a carry in the running game. But, the passing defense could be improved. That being said, Virginia Tech's own run game also left a little bit to be desired. They only averaged 3.7 yards a carry. The outlier in that 167-yard rushing total being Evans's 55-yard touchdown run. It was a tough day for Trayvon McMillan in particular running the ball. He had 9 carries for only 10 yards. Sam Rogers a little bit better, 9 carries for 29 yards. But yeah, on the bright side, both McMillan actually, Rogers for once did not catch a receiving touchdown, but Trayvon McMillan caught a touchdown pass, so that was important for him. I hope that keeps his confidence up. I still think he's Virginia Tech's best running back, even though Marshawn Williams is going to continue to get more carries. He only had 3 this past game, but I think when you look at Virginia Tech's running back situation, there's such an embarrassment of riches back there that Shy McKenzie is going to find carries difficult to come by, and I think there's a chance that when the season's over, he might be looking to transfer. So, it'll be interesting to see how things play out in the backfield. But, it's really, I've mentioned this before, it's difficult for Justin Fuente because he wants this team to be a run-first team. However, I think it is a team that is better when it comes to the passing game. I think this should be a pass-first team. Of course, you can always use the run to set up the pass, but there are times where you just want to see Virginia Tech run that football too when they get into short yards like they did when Marshawn Williams just went barreling through for that early touchdown run. And that was really, that way of saying the offense is going to play a major factor too, not just the special teams and the defense. So, Virginia Tech now standing at 3-1 on the season. It's going to be a kind of a temporary goodbye from Lane Stadium because, the Virginia Tech Hokies are only going to play one home game in the next 41 days, that being the Thursday night showdown against Miami, which I cannot wait to attend. There is nothing like a Thursday night football game in Blacksburg, but the Hokies are still going to be carrying plenty of momentum, both offensively and defensively, heading into first the bye week. Of course, they're going to have a week to kind of recoup and rest, and then the toughest, perhaps coastal division foe they might face could be North Carolina on the road. That'll be October 8th. The time for that kickoff has not been set for that yet. However, nonetheless, looking forward to it. Another great win for Virginia Tech. And as always, I will remind you Hokies out there, for those who have passed and for those to come, reach for excellence.